Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Women Like Me Stories in Business. I'm your host, Julie Fairhurst, and today I'm joined with Connie Cotter, a faith forward, joy driven transformation coach who helps high achievers move from a life that looks fine into one that feels fulfilled. Connie is a certified high performance coach with more than 23 years in IT training and leadership. So, Connie, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me, Julie. I'm super excited for our conversation.
Oh, good. Well, why don't we start by you telling us a little bit about who you are and the work that you're doing today?
Excellent. So, as you said in the introduction, the work I'm doing today is coaching people who were in the same space I was about 8 years ago, where I have a great husband. He makes me laugh every day. I had the kids. I had a successful, progressing career. And, from the outside, everything looked fine. But I felt like something was missing and I couldn't quite put my finger on it. And part of it was like, is this all there is? Is there more? And I worked with my own certified high performance coach and discovered that, you know, to stop pretending that and realize that there really is more. And
Mhm.
it's turned out to be what I believe is my calling to help other people reconnect with what matters to them and then live aligned and joy-filled lives.
That's well, all we can wish for, right? So, you describe yourself as a faith forward, joy driven transformation coach. So,
Yeah.
what does that mean to you?
So faith forward is I believe I'm a practicing Catholic, and I believe that God has given all of us a reason, purpose, value to bring into this world. And so whether people believe in God or universe or a higher power, there is something I think beyond each of us. And so I am faith forward, like I said, and I want people help people discover that value because through my years of IT experience, every single person has something to bring. And so I want to bring that out. And sometimes
Yeah.
people need a little encouragement and joy filled. That's my life right now.
Oh,
And I think I differentiate that from happiness because happiness is often tied to an external event. But joy is a choice. And it really has turned into my compass. I'm like, if something brings me joy, I'm going to keep pursuing that. And
mm,
so I've called my framework the joy-filled life blueprint. And so, purpose sometimes is a little heavy, but it's all in there.
yeah.
And so yeah, I want people to connect with what joy is for them and then live that most amazing life because it can happen. It really can. I used to be one of those, I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Is somebody really joy filled? And I'm like, yes, I'm one of
Yeah.
those people.
Yeah. That's fabulous. That's fabulous. So, what does fine often look like on the outside? Because you say that you help achievers move from fine to fulfilled. And fine is such a word that, we use it every day. Oh, how are you doing? Oh, I'm fine. But are you really fine? So, what does that look like on the outside?
Are you asking from like an outside observer
Well,
or are you wanting
just
to talk about the person?
Well, I'm just thinking, from the outside, how does that look when people are walking around saying they're fine all the time?
Yeah, it becomes kind of like a mask.
Mm,
And I think one area in this world is that human connection, I think, is getting thinner and thinner. And
mm,
so if someone, like you just said, how are you doing? Fine. Really? And then as, like myself, I would be like, okay, do they really want to know? Or are they just trying to be polite? And so it's this yes, no. Do I share more? Do I not? And it's the person who's juggling multiple projects. I was talking to a former colleague, corporate colleague, where, this year they have to work on 5 projects. Last year they worked on 2, same staff. I'm like, so how's it going? He's fine with a smile, like it's not.
yeah, yeah,
And so that fine is it's like that cover, very surface, superficial word. And for the
Mhm.
person experiencing it, it's that internal conflict of, I really could use some help. I don't know where to go. I've been able to manage these before and now I can't. And,
Yeah.
I don't want to burden anyone. And it can be all sorts of voices and thoughts within inside.
Yeah. Why do you think so many high achievers stay stuck in good enough for so long?
There's always that fear of the unknown.
Mm.
And uh, a part of my framework is, there's the caged life where you don't feel like you have any choices. And then the comfortable life, which is what it is. It's comfortable. It's known. You know what to expect. It might be really not pleasant, and yet it's comfortable. And then there's the charged life where, you have new energy and exuberance and joy and fun and the challenges. And it's that momentum and that movement and that motivation to keep going. And it's hard. It takes some work to get out of that good enough. And they're just, I guess there comes a point, I'm like, okay, is this all there is? And I was in that good enough for a very long time, many years, and I was happy. So, it came to a point where just one day I'm like, I'm happy, but could I be happier? And every person, I think, not every person, I can't speak for the whole world, but most
No.
people will come to that point of,
Yeah.
huh, I wonder if there is something more.
Yeah.
And because we are all, I think, wired for that more, to keep meaningful pursuits, keep striving for something little. It doesn't have to be big and grand, but it's just moving yourself and getting to that next level.
I look at, I guess as you're talking, I'm thinking to myself, and it sounds a lot like growth. Like we're meant to grow, we're meant to change. And
Yes,
even though we're happy and it's good enough, that's not helping us to advance and grow.
correct. Yes,
Yeah.
growth 100%. Personal
Yeah.
development, personal growth, career growth, growth in your family. I'm like, every day is a progression.
Yeah.
And, I'm not the same person I was last week or 3 months ago or a year ago.
Yeah.
And so technically, we're never really staying the same. We like to believe that, but, circumstances change and things like that. And so it becomes that point. I think I've done some reading on the brain. I'm not an expert by any means, but I agree. Humans are meant to grow and to move forward.
Mhm. Yeah. So you spent 23 years in an IT industry.
Mhm.
Was there a moment when you realized that you were being called into a different kind of work?
It wasn't part of the IT career, that was that calling. It was when I started working with my own certified high performance coach.
Ah,
What I
yes.
realized, though, was the best part of my job in the IT corporate world was I was in business analysis. So I worked in IT and I helped teams redesign and optimize their processes. So, how can they make their daily lives better? And the best part about it was I didn't have the answers. I just got to be really curious, be like that outside observer and go, what about this? Have you looked at that? Tell me more about this. And getting those people to discover what they had likely just been doing for so many years or so many months, just kind of on autopilot.
Yeah.
And so seeing like the light bulbs come on and optimized, and I used to run workshops for these. And, since we spend so much time in the office, I'm like, I brought toys and Play-Doh and candy. And so try to make it fun a little bit.
Yes.
And when I was going through my certification, I realized about halfway through, I'm like, I'm going to do the same thing for people's lives. So rather than optimizing processes, I'm helping people optimize their whole life, bringing that joy, bringing that connection, bringing that clarity to make their whole lives better. And so then
Yeah.
that kind of became my calling. I'm like, I love that part of business. Let's do this for people with
Yes.
their whole life.
Oh, exactly. So you created Beyond the Good Life. What inspired that name?
As we have been talking, the good life, it's good enough, good life. And I want to encourage people to go beyond that. Um, I've been learning in my entrepreneurial journey and marketing and words that a lot of people don't think about that beyond space. This is good enough. Some people call it next chapter.
Mhm.
And so I'm wanting people to one, recognize where they're feeling fine or it's good enough. Okay, maybe this is the best it gets. And the best is always that beyond. I'm trying to remember who said it, but like the greatest successes come 1 mile after everybody else stops. And
Mm,
so if we only go as far as everybody else goes, we're missing. And so let's take those couple extra steps and see what's beyond
yeah.
where we are currently comfortable.
Yeah. Wow. Well, why do you think some people uh, feel guilty for wanting more? And it reminds me of, people sometimes I've heard many women say, "Oh, well, I just want to be comfortable. Oh, I don't need to be rich. I just want to be comfortable." And I'm always thinking, well, if you win the lottery, you can throw that check over here because you don't need it. Like I don't know. What do you think about people who are feeling guilty about wanting more when their life is already good?
Oh my goodness, it's me. I was raised, be happy with what you have. We have enough. What we have is good enough. So we didn't excel beyond things. I received messages that if you have money and success beyond what most people have, you could be greedy for wanting more and wanting more and
Mm,
wanting more, or you become snobby, hoity-toity, better than. And so that was a lot of messaging that I had to get over. And more, think about what I could do with more. If I have more clients, I can impact more people and create a
yes.
bigger ripple effect of goodness and joy and awesomeness. If I have more and acquire more money, I can help more people. My husband and I, we dig water wells for people who don't even have the basic necessities of clean water, a safe home, nutritious food. And so we want to do more of that because I'm like, if people don't even have the basics, that just breaks my heart. And so more money for me gives me the opportunity to help more people that way as well. And so it's depending on kind of what you're going to use the more for. I believe we should use it for good.
Oh, I agree. I agree. And whether we like it or not, we live in countries where we have to have money. It's
Yeah.
just, if you don't have money, you're in big trouble.
Hmm.
So you should have a good relationship with that and be
Exactly.
and be willing to accept it in. And I agree. We have in Women Like Me, we have a group of ladies in Kenya. There's 26 of ladies, and they have just written their fifth book. We sell those books for proceeds for them, and they need it. They desperately need it. And so we're happy to be able to help them, but we couldn't help them if books didn't sell. We couldn't help them if we didn't have any funds. You
Right. Or
can't
the
help people.
authors to contribute,
Right,
to those
exactly.
books. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So how do you help people during major life transitions? And what kind of transitions do clients often face?
It's an interesting journey and that word transformation. A lot of my clients, many of them have come to me from the purely professional side. I want to be better at my job. I want to have less stress. I want to be more organized. I want to lead my team better. And the first step is just figuring out where they are, like what truly matters and what it starts with clarity. That's for me the foundation. When I know what I'm supposed to be doing and where I want to go and what I want to achieve, then you can put the pieces in place. But when you've got all of these options or these external pressures coming in, then the clarity can kind of get muddled.
Mm.
And so we get some clarity and then we work through, I've been trained in a science-backed, research-backed framework, um, which is progressive, but yet it's personalized to everybody because everybody's journeys, experiences, life experiences are different. And as my clients go through this process, what happens is what often starts with something professional ends up being something relationship is what improves their communication, how they show up in situations with family, friends, with their colleagues. And so when we get through the process, then it's like, oh, yeah, well, I came here to work on my team, but I can talk to my daughter a whole lot better. Our relationship is deepening. I didn't expect that. So it's whole
Ah,
life. It really is.
yes.
It's the foundation with whole life
Yeah.
approach.
Yeah. So, how can someone gain clarity when they feel stuck?
I love this question. And it's not hard. It just takes a little intention of pausing for a
Mm,
minute. And I call it the three question reset is what am I pretending is fine? They're stuck. And so usually it's because there's so many things going on or they're trying to multitask, which you can't. You're literally your brain only goes on one thing. And so it's called task jumping more than multitasking. And so you pause and like, what am I pretending that's fine? What do I really need right now? And it could be a glass of water. Maybe you haven't drank any water in the last hour. Maybe you've been sitting, so you need to stand up. Maybe you need some clarity and you want to bounce some ideas off. So, what do I really need right now? And then, what is one small action I can take right now? Maybe step outside, get some fresh air. There's been times I just walk out. My husband works in his office, and I'll just walk out and I'm like, can I have a hug?
oh.
Just I'm like, I just need a hug, whatever it happens to be. And so I
Yeah.
think the work that I guide my clients through is not complex.
Mm,
It's the simple pause, breathing, take a deep breath, go outside, feel the sunshine. If you're close to a beach, feel the sand or the grass. And just take those couple of moments and then you just build on them. And then, we build some new habits and that sort of thing. But when you're not clear, I've learned this the hard way. I just keep plowing through, and it'll eventually get clearer. And it never does. Got
no,
to pick my head up and
exactly.
look around.
Yes, yeah. What I find this interesting. What's the difference for people for being busy and being aligned? How can we tell the difference if we're just busy or if we're actually in alignment?
Hmm. Oh, that's such a good question. And I still have challenges with that at times because I want to get a lot done. And so if I'm busy, hey, do you ever have like the list of things and it's like, oh, I really don't want to do that thing because that's going to take a little more work. I'm going to have to think about it. It's going to take a little longer. But if I do these five things, check, 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 look, I did the work. I got five things. But was that really moving forward
Yeah.
with the intention for the day or for the week or the month, the quarter, the year? And I've been learning over time that sometimes doing less, so number of things, quantity of things, but the quality of that work. I may do one thing in the morning, but I'm focused on getting clear on what that looks like, breaking it down into steps, doing those things so that they all align within a box, for example.
Yeah.
And the distractions come in, and then it's like, is this distraction helping me with this? More often than not, no. And then having the discipline to say, I will get to that later, because there's always an email coming in, a direct message, something. And so you kind of got to put the blinders on and figure out what is the intention and where do I want to go? And so getting people to connect with what matters to them, even if you're in a corporate job still, where you feel like all the rules or the goals are coming down on you, I believe you can still be from a space of what matters to me. How can I show up in the best way to complete these tasks and not just
Mhm.
take everything as like this, sort of dumping ground and then
Yeah.
figuring it out.
Yeah. Yeah. When I was doing my research on you, uh, I found an area where you talk about rewriting your identity. So, who are we when the roles we once held start to change? How are we rewriting our identity?
For so many of us, I think women, especially just if you're in the mom role,
Mhm.
um, you, we're always going to be moms. I have two children, so that's not going to change. They're going to, my daughter's 35, 36 now. Oh my goodness. And so the role of mom or the title of mom is always going to be there, but it shifts. And what we have in our careers, whether it's the job title or the labels and those sorts of things. And I don't think we're taught to ever really connect with me, Connie, as a person. You go through elementary school and high school and you go into college and then you just jump right into, most of us did, right into your career when there you're an employee, a supervisor, a manager, and you just keep progressing. And then I'm a wife, I'm a daughter, and so all of a sudden it's all of those can be shifting. Okay, my child goes off to college, so they get married. So now I have a family. Okay, I'm still mom, but what does that mean? Or I've climbed the corporate ladder. I'm sitting up here as an executive vice president and I'm getting ready for retirement. What does that mean? And so all of a
Yeah.
sudden, what seemed like a solid foundation starts to get a little shaky. And it can be scary when this is what I've done for 20 years. I've been a mom for 26 years, and now what do I do? And so that's where clarity starts again. What matters inside? And a lot of people have come to me and they're like, I'm getting ready in this stage. And they're like, well, what did you like to do when you were younger? I don't know about you, but I can't remember when I was 30 what I like to do. And it has likely changed.
Yes.
So you don't just do, what did you do before the kids were born? I don't know. That was 27
Yeah.
years ago, whatever,
Yeah.
the time frame is. And we're all different people because we now have different experiences. And so what matters to you? And sometimes it's like, I have no idea
Mhm.
because for so long, these other identities and roles have been running the show. And so it can seem scary. And it helped me. That's why working with a coach, someone who believes in them before they believe in themselves,
Yes.
someone who doesn't have the answers. I'm not going to tell someone who they are or what matters to them. I can ask questions and help them discover inside. It's like, oh, I never thought of that. Or let's try this habit, try this thing for a week and see what comes out. And so then it's like this discovery of this whole new world that doesn't rely on the external for that fulfillment.
Yeah. It's almost like we have, especially women, we have so many roles from the moment we're born until wherever. And, but we forget us.
Yes. And it's
Yeah.
always like, make sure the kids are fed, make sure the husband's fed, make sure the boss is happy, make sure my friends are happy,
Yeah.
make sure the
Take care of
community's
your
happy.
parents.
Yes. Yes, and
Yes.
the aging parents,
Yes.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah. How can someone use the wisdom, I love this, the wisdom of their past without being trapped by an old identity?
Oh, that's a great question. You are such a good host,
Oh,
podcast
thank
host. These
you.
are awesome questions. I love it. Yeah, because sometimes the past is you either want to run screaming from it. I don't
Mm,
ever want to live that way again, or not going to make that mistake again. Or if I go forward, it could be kind of scary. And it can be hard to detach the emotions from it. And let's just look at objectively what happened in a given situation. And again, it takes that pause, which is really hard in this world where it seems like you got to go faster, 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 to find that pause and look back. Okay, so objectively, I saw this, I reacted this way, I did this, I observed this, but you don't know truly what other people thought or felt. All you can do is observe. And that one took me a while to get my head kind of wrapped around. I'm like, well, they were feeling this and I don't know what they were feeling. I don't know what they were thinking,
yes.
and we can sometimes skew the words that we hear because we want to hear a certain thing from someone.
Hmm.
So again, it's really connecting inside and then just going, okay, that worked. It didn't work.
Hmm.
Not right or wrong, good or bad. It's from a business analysis, IT perspective, it's data. It's just information. And then you can take that piece worked. Maybe I'll tweak this. And some of my clients, we do in these relationship and conversations, like role plays. Like if they need to have a conversation with their spouse or with their coworker, let's try it. Let's practice. How do you want to show up? How do you think that person's going to act? And then I can pretend like that person and we can kind of work some of that out to kind of practice going into different situations.
Hmm. Yeah. Why can the second half of life become one of our most powerful seasons?
That is my,
I think so many of us, especially women, we think we're done.
yeah,
Like even for myself, back in 2016, 17, I'm like getting really burnt out. I'm really done over here, but what's over there? And it was terrifying.
yeah, yeah. It's like I've done all of this. I just want to rest. I
Yeah.
had a client say that. And then, I've done all of this and there's just no fire left. It's gone.
Mm,
So I want to tell you, when I hit 50 and I was doing this whole process, I just decided to start over. So letting you all know, I am 9 years old. I'm literally going through. So the first one and two, I was a little more mature because I could walk and talk and feed myself. But I'm 9 years old. And so I'm like, what does a 9 year old do? Kind of test the boundaries a little bit, be a little spunky, sometimes thinking I'm more mature than I am, sometimes realizing that I don't know everything and that others can help me. And I think this is the best time because all those things that we carried for so long. And like you said, from the day we were born, this role, that role, do this, don't do that, show up like this, don't show up like that. Now we can start shedding those things. And this can be like the best time.
mm,
The best time.
yeah.
I play more now. I think that's another thing I want to bring to all my clients is play. We don't play as adults. Who said that we had to grow up out of play? I don't think anybody said. It's just
Yes.
society.
Yeah. Yeah. I love those adult coloring books.
Yes. Yes, adult coloring books and
Yeah.
like even just sometimes like fidget toys, and I'm a
Yeah.
huge Baby Yoda fan, so I I carry one when I fly. We
Aw.
were traveling during COVID and he had his little mask on his doll and I had mine. And yeah,
Cute.
100%. I
Yeah,
dance in the
yeah,
grocery store.
yeah, yeah. Well, how is your work rooted in purpose and guided by grace? So, how does your faith influence the way you coach?
Again, I don't do this alone. I believe that this is what God put me on this planet for. And before all of my sessions, I ask the Holy Spirit for some guidance so that I bring my best self to the relationship and to the session. I pray for my client to be in their best space, knowing and trusting me that I am there for them. This is their time. And often with my high achievers, this is 1 hour a week when they kind of get to close all the things off and then connect with themselves. And it's it's a sacred space. It's private with the one-on-one coaching, it's private. With the group, it's I do in group cohorts again for that safe space.
Mm,
And so my purpose is to find and extract, discover all of that God-given talent that we all have, and then guide it through grace. I can't force it out of people.
no,
I have to create that space for them to exhale, to breathe in and go, okay, now I can connect. And so it's rooted in my purpose, which is given to me by God, and then
yes.
guided by his grace to create that space for my clients.
Yeah. Well, how can faith help someone take bold action even when they feel afraid? And I like what you said earlier, it can be God, it can be universe, whatever that is for you. But
Mhm.
how does that help people to take bold action?
I, I'd like to define the word bold as
Mm.
relative. So, what is bold for me, and I share it with you, and you could go, Connie, that's a piece of cake. That's not a big deal. Or
Right.
it could be, like
Yeah.
I'm climbing this huge mountain with just myself, and you'd be like, okay, that's crazy bold.
Yeah.
And so, again, it's personalized. And for that faith, we can't go through this life alone. Like,
Mhm.
we can't. I mean, if you just imagine, sometimes this is how I like, you have to break all the way things down. If there was no other people here, I wouldn't be able to survive. I couldn't do everything. The
Mhm.
planting the grocery or the vegetables and watering things. And, you know, f- my car runs out of gas and there's no gas. I'm like, we all need other people.
Mm.
And I believe that there's the force, God, universe, that is that constant. So even when I am feeling like there's no humans around, there is that love of God that I rely on. I don't always feel it all the time. Sometimes I get a little frustrated. Sometimes I'm like, can you help me?
Hello.
Hello. And,
Yeah.
sometimes there was a meme or a image on Facebook of a little girl. It was explaining that, if you ask God for courage, he's going to put you in situations where you develop courage. He doesn't just give you courage,
Ah,
and if
right,
you ask for
right.
strength, he's going to put you in situations where you can build those muscles and build that strength.
Mhm.
And if you ask for patience, he's going to put you in situations that are going to try your patience so that you build your patience. And I was like, wow,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah, that's a
So
great
me,
analogy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. How do people know the difference between a passing idea and a deeper calling?
that deeper calling never goes away.
Mhm.
Um, so so my calling right now, like we've been talking about, is to be this transformation coach driven by joy. That's my,
Yes.
but I didn't have that as the niggling or the calling. Like I didn't have that 8, 9 years ago. What I had, the niggling that never went away, was there's got to be something more. There's something
Mm,
I'm missing. And I would read a book and listen to a podcast and I would do some exercises and I'm like, okay. And then 3 months would be like, okay, there's something missing. I don't know what it is. And then I'd sign up for a course and I'd take the course and then it would be good. And then it, and so whether it's entrepreneurship or looking for a different position in a different company in a different role or whatever it happens to be, if it keeps coming up, it's something you need to pay attention to because again, I believe it's that value. And God
mhm.
is going to keep tapping you on the shoulder and putting things in your perspective and going, I'm going to keep asking. I'm going to keep asking until you
Yeah.
listen. And
Yes,
if it's a passing
exactly.
idea, that's what it is. It's passing. It might be something. However, it could lead you to that niggle that is the real thing.
Hmm. Well, what about someone who feels the nudge towards change but keeps ignoring it?
I have a potential client, actually two clients right now who are in that space. And that I talk to them and they're like, yeah, I know. I know. And so w- what's the hesitation? And both of them, the answer is fear.
Mm,
And so the the known not so good versus the unknown could be totally amazing or could be worse. If you're staying with the known, not so good, at least I know what it is. And so then we're having those discussions on life is going to happen. Time continues to pass.
mm,
If nothing changes, time passes. But if you, as your individual, your mindset, your thoughts, your behaviors stay the same and you don't progress, what's going to be different 3 months from now, 6 months from now? Or if you've been sitting on it, yeah, I wanted to do this last summer.
mm.
We're recording this in June. So what changed over the last 12 months? If you had started changing a year ago, where could you be now?
Right.
And so
Yeah.
it's just helping that person go that next level deeper. What's
Yeah.
behind that? What's behind that? And again, I want to create that safe space. It's not a judgment. I've been there and
Yes.
I know what this work can do.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, sometimes you get those tiny little nudges, and sometimes you just get hit upon the head.
Yes, that is so true.
I always say, you know what? You're going to go. You can either go kicking and screaming, or you can go with a smile on your face. It's really your choice, but you're going to go.
Right. 100%.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Um, burnout, burnout, nasty, nasty. So, how can high achievers pursue growth without burning themselves out?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the tagline for my business is taking action to get more from life.
Hmm.
And I had someone say to me, they're like, Connie, my schedule is already full, like beyond full. Like I'm triple booked for some hours. And now you're saying take action.
Ah,
I don't have any time. And I get it. And going back to what you were saying, busy work versus aligned work, what is more important to you as my client or me as Connie? And this might sound harsh, but some people like the overwhelm. It gives
mm,
them a little drama. It
hmm.
can make you feel important. Look at me, I'm managing all of this sort of stuff and I'm working all these late hours and I came in early and I worked on the weekend. And what's your quality of life?
Hmm.
How's your sleep? Did you get some fresh air? And I think in my second half, the little sassy part of being 9 years old is everything. that I do for others is extra. I've got to take care of me.
Yes.
And, you know, the corporate world will keep pushing and pushing and pushing. Even the external world as an entrepreneur, got to post on Facebook, got to post on LinkedIn, got to be on Instagram, got to do this.
Yes.
Got, I'm like, who says gotta? You got to do
Yes.
this.
Yeah.
If I listen to the world, I could
Hmm.
be drowning.
Yes.
But
Oh,
it's
for
like, what
sure.
does Connie say she
Yeah.
wants to do so that
Yeah.
she can best present her best self to the world?
Yeah. Great
So
advice.
overwhelm again is, I hate to say it, it's a choice.
Yeah. We do it to ourselves.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hard to set boundaries though. And
It
that's a whole nother thing. And
it's tough.
yeah.
And sometimes you don't realize what you're doing until all of a sudden you're like, oh, I can't answer my phone anymore, or oh, I can't get out of bed, or oh, right? And then all
Yeah,
of a
that
sudden it's like, oh, what have I done?
yeah, that cosmic 2x4 of physically overwhelm. I've been there. 3 days
Yeah,
in bed with a headache, wouldn't go
yeah,
away.
yeah,
I just
yeah.
pushed and pushed and pushed, and my body finally said, okay, you're not listening. You're done.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I want everyone to know that we are going to have Connie's contact information in the show notes. So if you would like to reach out to her, explore, snoop around, see what she's all about, we'll have some information there that you'll be able to go ahead and reach her. Connie, I wanted to ask you, what is one small daily choice that someone can do to help create a more fulfilling life for themselves?
I'm going to share the one thing that I do every day that has really brought joy and wonder into my life. And it's a daily walk.
Mm.
Sometimes it's 15 minutes, sometimes it's 10, sometimes I just go outside long enough so it's a short walk. No phone, no earbuds, and just be the 2 or 3 year old. Watch the trees, listen to the birds, feel the grass, hear the crunch of the gravel if you're on a gravel road. And then it's just wow and wonder. When I first started doing this, just a little side note, I would notice that this tree is fully leaved and this one little section would be blowing or moving and all around him wasn't. And I'd be like, how can just this little part be moving and the rest of it's not? And my husband's like, well, the current of the winds hit the fence and went, and I'm like, no, 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 no.
Don't
It
wreck
was a
it for me.
rhetorical question.
Yeah.
I was just like, wow,
Oh,
that's really cool.
yeah.
And yeah, so
Yeah.
that I think it's simple, it's easy, everybody has access to it. Watch your cat play, watch your child play,
Oh,
watch
yeah.
something. If you go
Yeah.
outside and get a little fresh air and some sunshine, that makes it even better.
The simple things in life.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Well, Connie, I hate to end our conversation, but we're just about out of time. Thank you so much. You've given me some new tips, and I'm sure the people that are watching have gotten a lot out of this. And yeah, we have to remember, especially if we're older, we're over 50, we're reinventing ourselves, going on to that next career or whatever we're doing, that we have a lot of wisdom. Even if you're and there's nothing wrong with being a stay-at-home mom. But even if you are the stay-at-home mom and you think all I did is stay at home and take care of my kids, you have so many life lessons that you can share with other moms and other women around the world. So we all
Yes,
have our gifts, and it's just so important to know that we're worth something. We're worth a lot, and we got a lot of
very much
wisdom.
so. I have
Yeah.
thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. Like I said, you are an excellent podcast host. Your
Oh, well,
questions were amazing.
oh, well, thank you, Connie. I
Yeah.
appreciate that so much. Well, I do my research because I want to make sure that everybody gets value, and I get free coaching from all of you. So this is good.
Excellent.
This is good. Yeah. Well, thanks again, Connie. I appreciate you being here. And everyone, thank you as well for being on this episode of Women Like Me Stories in Business. And we will see you all again next time. Take care, everybody. Bye
Right.
bye.
Bye.